Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and you join me from the Tower of London and the site of the Scaffold. And what better location to come on Halloween, or for Halloween. Queen Anne Boleyn, 1536. Margaret Pole, Countess of Salisbury. Old Lady Salisbury, a nasty, horrible death that one. She didn't want to go, and the ham-fisted young headsmen had to chase her all around the scaffold. And we've got, as the light is changing, Queen Catherine Howard, 1542. Jane Viscount Rochford, 1542. Henry VIII's wife. And George Boleyn, you know Anne Boleyn and George Boleyn? George Boleyn was Anne's brother. This woman, Jane Rochford, Viscountess Rochford, she was his wife, and she helped Catherine of Howard's lovers get in to meet Catherine Howard, so it is said. Lady Jane Grey, 1554, the 9 Days Queen. Robert Devereux, Earl of Essex, 1601, the favourite of Queen Elizabeth I. The Highlanders, Farquhar Shaw, 1743. Samuel Macpherson, 1743. Malcolm Macpherson, 1743. Close to this site were executed. And we've got William Lord Hastings was the first one I missed, beg your pardon, 1483. So yeah, this is the Chapel of St Peter ad Vincula, which in English means St Peter in Chains. And I've just been able to take some pictures inside there, so if that's your thing, have a look. And as I say, what better location to visit for Halloween than this place? And anyone that does want to have a decent Halloween, bring the kids out, do something maybe, bring them here, because they've put on a load of immersive Halloween experiences, which brings the ghosts of past prisoners and past people of the tower back to life in an immersive experience kind of way. So yeah. This is the famous White Tower, which is the oldest part of the Tower of London, begun by King William the Conqueror. And the famous Tower Bridge. And we are looking right at the bloody tower now, where the princes in the tower were murdered. So, hope you all found that little snippet interesting. Thanks for watching, ladies and gents. Take care, and I shall see you all soon. And that is the scaffold of the Tower of London. This very, very old building with the new right behind it. Thanks for watching, everyone. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is Tower Hill and the site of the Scaffold, where so many people lost their lives. A lot of those people that went in through that gate, some of the royal ones, were beheaded on Tower Green inside the tower. Some of the not royal ones were beheaded here. Simon Sudbury, Archbishop of Canterbury, that's the peasants' revolt. The peasants got hold of him because of the taxes and they killed him, they cut his head off. If you've seen the pictures, that's the little image inside the box with a man with his head on a stake. Sir Robert Hales, Sir Simon de Burley, KG, Richard Fitzalan, 3rd Earl of Arundel, Reverend Richard Witch, Vicar of Deptford, John de Vere, 12th Earl of Oxford, John Tiptoft, Earl of Worcester, William Stanley, KG, James Tuckett or Tushet, 7th Baron Audley, Edward Plantagenet, Earl of Warwick, Edward Stafford, 3rd Duke of Buckingham, John Fisher, Bishop of Rochester. Poor old Bishop Fisher is in the reign of King Henry VIII, and he refused to acknowledge Henry's divorce and his head of the churchship, basically, when Henry VIII kicked out the Pope from being the head of the church in England, and he became the Pope. And good Bishop Fisher lost his life for it. He was a very popular man and well liked. Sir Thomas More, one of Henry VIII's oldest and closest friends. That didn't save him, he still went to the axe. Also for refusing to acknowledge the divorce and the breaking away from Rome. Thomas Darcy, Lord Darcy of Templehurst, KG. To commemorate the tragic history and in many cases the martyrdom of those who, for the sake of their faith, country or ideals, staked their lives and lost. On this site, more than 125 were put to death, the names of some of whom are recorded here. Henry Courtenay, Earl of Devon, Thomas Cromwell, Earl of Essex, KG. It was Cromwell that happened on the idea of getting rid of the Catholic Church in England, becoming Church of England, getting rid of the nunneries, the monasteries, the Reformation. And it was his idea that he gave to Henry, that he'd be a very rich man if he did so. And Cromwell, that didn't serve him anything when he'd served his purpose and couldn't get King Henry his divorce from Catherine of Anne of Cleves. He went to the block for that one, and he was hated, absolutely hated, and his execution was a particularly nasty one. Some say it was done on purpose. Henry Howard, Earl of Surrey, Edward Seymour, Duke of Somerset, uncle to the King, Sir Thomas Wyatt, Thomas Howard, 4th Duke of Norfolk. The Norfolks were a terrible family for their schemings and plots, and a lot of them went to the block for it. Thomas Wentworth, Earl of Stafford, William Laud, Bishop of Canterbury, Sir Henry Vane, Colonel Algernon Sidney. Oh, shice, that was a rat. I don't know if you saw that. Colonel Algernon Sidney, James Duke of Monmouth, James Radcliffe, 3rd Earl of Derrenwater. Rats. Simon Fraser, Lord Lovat. And that, ladies and gentlemen, are just some of the names of those who lost their lives on this spot. So you've seen inside the tower, on Tower Green, where people lost their lives, and now you've seen it here. So I hope you all found that little snippet interesting. This is the War Memorial Garden, and I am getting out from this bit because there is rats everywhere. I can hear them running around. And I've got baggy jeans on, so if they run up my trouser legs, you will hear very, very undignified, unmanly-like screams. So we don't want that, do we? This is the Memorial Garden for the sailors of the First and Second World War. First World War mostly. Right, guys and girls, I hope you all found this interesting. Take care. Thank you all for watching. Remember, friend, as you pass by, as you are now, so once was I. As I am now, you will surely be. Remember, friend, and pray for me. Good evening, ladies and gents. St Thomas's Tower. We were on the inside of that earlier, exploring the medieval royal palace, and I did me say to you, with fair fine words, that you would see more of Traitors Gate. And thence we've come. All the big ones are walking through here. Moore, Cromwell, Anne Boleyn, Catherine Howard, and many more. Blocked off from the river now by this embankment. It would have been accessible in its day. When you're on the opposite side of the river, or in a boat on the river, which I have been, you can see the entrance to Traitors Gate, and it's painted on the wall down there, Traitors Gate. And that is Tower Bridge, of course, and there we are. We have the iconic St Thomas's Tower and the Tower of London. The medieval royal palace. This is edited or merged onto the video of that earlier. And there we are. Hope you've all enjoyed the Halloween viewings and the tower. Take care all. Thank you very much for watching.